Okay, let's just get right into it. We are absolutely drowning in ads. And if we're being honest, most of it is just noise. It's stuff our brains are literally trained to ignore, to filter out, and to forget in like 2 seconds flat. I mean, think about your own day. When was the last time you let a YouTube ad play all the way through? You smashed that skip button, right? We fast forward commercials, we scroll right past sponsored posts. We've all become experts at avoiding marketing. It's just a constant hum in the background that barely even registers.
So that's the real question, isn't it? If everyone is shouting and your customer has their fingers in their ears, how in the world do you actually get a message through? How do you get them to stop and listen? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
To figure this out, we're going to look at the work of Donald Miller, an author who knows a thing or two about getting people's attention. He says there's one ancient, powerful weapon that can cut through all that noise like nothing else. And that weapon? It's story. You see, the magic of a story is that it's not just about being entertaining, it's how our brains are wired. A good story takes a bunch of messy, random information and snaps it into a clear, organized pattern. It creates a little bit of suspense and makes us lean in, wanting, no, needing to know what happens next. So, how do you build a story for a brand? Well, Miller boiled the entire Hollywood formula down to just these three simple questions. If you can clearly answer these three things in your marketing, you'll grab your customer's attention. This is going to be our blueprint. So let's tackle that first question. First things first. Every single story needs a main character, a hero. But here's the thing. The biggest, most common mistake in marketing is getting the hero wrong.
And this is absolutely crucial. Your company is not the hero. Your amazing product is not the hero. The customer is the hero of the story, period. Everything has to revolve around them, their problems, their desires, their journey. You just have to figure out what it is they want. And that want needs to be laser focused. Just look at this Jason Bourne example. Imagine if the movie was about him trying to find his identity and lose 10 pounds and adopt a shelter cat and win on Jeopardy! It's ridiculous, right? You'd be totally confused and you'd lose interest fast. Your marketing has to pick one single, clear destination.
So, what do people actually want? Well, it usually comes down to one of these pretty basic human drives. We want to save money or make more of it. We want to save our precious time. We want to climb the social ladder, or we want to feel more connected to other people. Your job is to figure out which one of these your brand truly delivers on for your hero.
Okay, so we've got our hero, and we know what they want. But a story where the hero just gets what they want right away, that's a boring story. To make things interesting, our hero needs a challenge. They need a villain. I mean, seriously, what's Star Wars without Darth Vader? Or Harry Potter without Voldemort? The villain is what creates conflict and tension. It gives the hero something to push against. And in marketing, the villain is simply the problem that's getting in your customer's way. And this is where your brand finally enters the picture. Remember, you're not the hero. You're the one who hands the hero the tools they need to win. You're the guide who gives them the sword, the magic potion, the secret map. Your product is the weapon they use to beat their villain. Now, it's important to realize the villain doesn't have to be a person in a black cape. It can be an external problem like distractions or high prices, but often the most powerful villains are internal, things like frustration, confusion, or that nagging feeling of self-doubt. When you can name that feeling as the villain, you really connect with your customer. So, let's recap. We have a hero who wants something. We have a villain standing in their way. The third and final part of our story is to make it crystal clear what happens if the hero fails and what glorious thing happens if they succeed. We need to set the stakes. This is the question that lights a fire under people. You have to gently show your customer what life will look like if the villain wins. If they just ignore this problem, what's the cost? You want to make them fret just a little bit. I love this analogy. It's all about that dash of salt. You need just enough negative stakes to give your message some flavor and make it compelling. But if you pour on too much, you'll just overwhelm people and they'll tune you out. It's a real balancing act. So what you do is you paint a picture of two futures. On the one hand, you show what happens if the villain wins. Think of the old Wendy's commercials showing that sad, tiny little burger. That's failure. But on the other hand, you show them success. You give them a vision of their better life. Like Men's Warehouse, they didn't just sell clothes, they promised a feeling.
you'll like the way you look. And that is the absolute key. You can't just talk about the problem and the pain. Fear only works when it's immediately followed by hope. You have to show them a clear path to winning. That positive, hopeful vision is what pulls the hero forward and makes them want to take action. All right, we've covered the hero, the villain, and the stakes. Let's pull this all together and look at the complete blueprint one last time. And here it is. It's that simple. 1. Who is your hero and what is the single thing they want? 2. Who is the villain that's stopping them? Give that problem a name. And 3. What are the stakes? What's the cost of failure and what's the picture of success?
Look, the truth is, your brand is already telling a story, whether you've planned it or not. So the only real question is it a clear, compelling story that draws people in, or is it a confusing, noisy one that just gets ignored? Now you have the blueprint. So, what story are you going to tell?